Oh, we live, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Man.
sir. You already up in here. We already up in here.
I thought I thought the intro was coming on. I gotta set it up.
It's all good. We jumped right in. We came. We right in this joint.
Yeah,
Up in this jump.
yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Salute everybody. Salute.
Yeah, man.
All righty. All righty. All righty. All righty. Let me see who we got. H&F. What's happening?
Yeah,
Big Dre.
man.
What's good? Big Welsh. What's happening, bro? Pitwise. Salute. Yes, sir. That's who I see up in the building so far. That's who I see up in the building. Y'all go ahead, do what y'all do, get y'all seats, you know what I mean? Whatever y'all brung, you know what I mean? Situated or whatever, whatever. I heard Dre
Yeah,
had the
man.
asparagus, the healthy asparagus on deck from Brother Dre. Uh also, yesterday I gave the special tables. I apologize to the special table for yesterday. I ain't had no jelly, and I gave y'all them choke sandwiches. So today, McDonald's dropping y'all off some Happy Meals. So y'all have some nuggets. Some of y'all that have a cheeseburger Happy Meal or nugget Happy Meals. I told them mix it up, whatever. So and make sure all y'all get y'all toys and shit in there. So y'all to get them today over at the special table. Salute.
Yeah, man.
And I want to start it off and say RIP to D from What's Happening. I grew up with D from What's Happening. I grew up watching What's Happening, So that's my age group, and D done passed away. So I just want to say RIP to D. I don't know her real name. That's me slacking. I should have did the research before I came out here. But D, I know you as D, and yeah, D, salute and RIP. If anybody know, y'all know. Big Tony. Coffee and strawberry. Salute. Supreme. Salute the pressure. Yes, sir. There we go. There we go. Oh, Pitwise said put some respect on her name. It's Dr. Danielle Spencer, DVM. Salute, D. Yeah, Pitwise. Yes, sir. Salute, D. I feel you, Pitwise. I wanted to put some respect on her name. Salute the queen. Oh, man, I ain't say salute the queen anyway. She must be at work, huh, Big A?
Yeah, she at work, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Get it, queen. I feel you. Get it, queen. Let me ball something.
Mm-hmm.
Chico, what's happening? Damn, we came back quick as hell. I couldn't even change my drawers. Chico. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all was cooking as usual this morning. I heard y'all while I was fucking around and shit. I definitely was tuning in.
Oh man.
I know you already opened the door for the cats, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Oh yeah,
did.
all right. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, before they take over, because they're gonna come in here and take over. And I like when they take over
Yeah.
because they some good men. But check this out. I always liked the bad bitches and shit like that. You dig? I always like the bad bitches. Salute to the bad bitches. That's why I salute
Mm-hmm.
Honey Bunch. You know what I mean? And if somebody could come up with a better bitch than Honey Bunch, y'all go ahead and let me know and all that, because like Honey Bunch, the reason why I put her above a lot of motherfuckers, because she did both jobs. Like she did both jobs, man. You know what I mean? That's all it is to it, man. I gotta give her a special place, man. She did both jobs. Like I know it might be other females that did both jobs, but y'all talk to me about it, because I really kind of just know about Bunch. Now I respect the Dirty Marys and the Black Widows and Queen of Hearts, and but I'm rolling with Bunch. I'm rolling with Bunch. Bad bitch. You dig? That's how I feel. And I also think as humans, as humans, and salute the fathers out there. But it's always salute mom. You know what I mean? When I was coming up, everything good that came about us knuckleheads, our moms get credit for that shit. Where we coming. I just is my view, because fathers is fathers. Fathers will be fathers. I ain't even gonna dwell into all that. You know what I mean? But because I'm a father, and I'm sure there's a lot of fathers out there, but we know our job. But moms usually get the props for the good that comes behind us. You know what I mean? That's where it be at. You dig what I'm saying? So salute, bunch, and to double down on what y'all was talking about this morning. You know what I mean? To me, when does the dog become yours? It's like this. When you buy a puppy, and it's just Toyo opinions and shit. When you buy a puppy, you're not the only one buying that puppy from that breeder. So to make that dog yours, this is where it's at. To me, you got to do something with that dog. The breeder is already breeding and giving you potential. That's what the breeder is doing. He's breeding a dog that has the potential to be great. That's what he's supposed to be breeding for. Now, if he's just a breeder, he's looking for people to make some of his dogs great. Now, one way you can make the dog yours, and you ain't got to worry about him saying it's his if you lose out there doing something or whatever. You ain't got to worry about him trying to claim that dog, whatever. You can go ahead and claim it. But basically, a breeder is basically giving you potential. So that's where it stops at. You getting that dog from 6 to 8 weeks, like we were talking about yesterday. That's when it's on. That's where the owner come in. And the names is on the paperwork or whatever. Y'all get paperwork. You ain't taking that breeder name off there. But this is what the owner comes in. You the owner, don't worry about him. Don't be worried about making this yours. What it is yours. Once you got it in your hands, that's the owner's dog. So now if you want to separate yourself, you have to do something with the dog to really claim that dog. Because once you do something with the dog, with like getting an accolade some type of way and all that, that's your work. The breeder can no longer, he can't claim that work. He cannot claim that work. He could just say that he gave you the potential, and like Garner do, I give salute Garner. Garner give you a bonus for doing that with his dog. He gonna respect that you went out there and did that, and he might, come buy that dog back from you if you sell it back from to him. But basically, like, that's the best way to make that dog yours. You do something with that dog and make that dog a name, and then you ain't got to worry about, because we all know, like I say, he didn't sell, the breeder didn't sell just you a dog, he sold other people dogs. So his thing is, people gonna be seeing people with his dogs. You, on the other hand, you're individual. You did something with yours. So that doesn't automatically go to the breeder, because he done sold other people's dogs. Does everybody get out there getting accolades with them dogs? So that's where you're separating yourself. That's where you're saying this mine or whatever, because everybody wants to say that's my stuff. Like Bo and them say, that's my stuff. That's my stuff. Yeah, but this is where you claim that shit. Your hands coordination from them hand-eye coordination from them 6 weeks all the way up to when you got them accolades, whatever, however you doing it. Those are things that you did. These are things that the breeder cannot claim. All they can do is say, that dog came from me. And the people that's watching, they gonna see that other people got dogs from that breeder. They gonna count how many people, they gonna see how many people is doing the things like you did. If it's not a lot, then it's gonna be shown that you're doing something. Or that man did something with them dogs. Now, see me, when I grab my dogs, I'm automatically thinking they mine, and I'm doing something with them. I'm basically not thinking about breeding or anything, because that's that man's job or whatever. But I'm not thinking about breeding anything until I do got a good dog. Now, once I got a good dog, I got some choices. I can go back to the man who bred this dog that gave me this potential, because I think that highly of, like, he gave me a good dog. I'm going to double back and ask him for the best path. Maybe he could boom, 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 boom. And y'all do it like that. Or, somebody like me would, once I got my good dog, now I'm playing the breeding game too. Because now I'm trying to look because I might not once I run this dog up for 3 years, it might be stuff that I don't like about this dog. Even though I got him accolades, it might be stuff that I don't like about this dog. It's good, and I made some accolades off of it, but I learned something by when I was bringing him up. I learned that he's not easy to work. He's boom. Yeah, I got accolades off of him, but it's things that I need other than this. I made accolades with this, but I need to go get some other parts. Now, boom. That's when my breeding game come in effect, because I'm not going back to the same dude because I already got what he gave me. I got what he gave me. I took it as far as I could. Boom, boom, boom. Now I'm going to somebody else or whatever, or I'm researching, or I'm ready to make a breeding move. Now, that breeder that I got my original dog for, he gonna be keeping his eye on me, especially if it's a good dog. You know what I mean? He might even be downplaying my moves that I'm ready to do. Why he gonna take it there? Why he gonna take it there? That's none of his business. You dig what I'm saying? But if you make a good dog off your own crosses and stuff like that, boom, 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 those are becoming your dogs. Those are becoming your dogs as a breeder. Now, you made the accolades off one dog. Now you ain't go back to that man or whatever. You starting to make different crosses with your dog. Boo, boo, boo. That work is yours. That's your breeding work now. Good or bad. Good or bad. Once you start letting them out in the public, and if they ain't doing shit, they gonna be talking bad about it, whatever. So that's where I'm at with it. You can have the performance and the breeding, but basically your work will distinguish which one you are. You dig what I'm saying? Some people, they just into the performance, they let the breeders be them, which means when they do make something out that good dog, they just gonna go holler back at the breeders like, yo, this is what I did, or they gonna basically be conversating with the breeders because they feel as though they want to stay in the performance lane, and boom, they'll come back and give the data to the breeders like, yeah, but this is what I didn't like about it, even though I did win this and I won that or whatever. But man, he was I couldn't get him to work. So now that breeder you gave him some good information to try for him, whatever how he gonna cook it up to give you a better product. You know, so that's where I'm at with it. And before y'all take over again, I just, I forgot to throw out my little facts because they be checking on me to see like, yo, did this nigga even give out any jewels? But anyway, like, listen, for all the people out there that's active with y'all dogs, trying to get them some accolades and shit like that. And we all talking about legal things, not illegal things. So, I shouldn't have to say that. But basically, like, I checked some things out, I'm just upstairs with it. The record for the 100 yards with a dog is 6.9 seconds. So I don't know if one of you guys think y'all can make a pit bull beat that 6.9 seconds, but if for the 100 yards, it's like 6.9 for a dog. And the jumping, these was just things I was interested in. The jumping joint is 30 feet. 30 feet. You beat any one of those, y'all could be in the book somewhere. Those the records. 30 feet for the jump and 100 yards, 6.9. Now another joint that interests me was that obstacle course. Now that one, they had a dog run that, complete that in a minute or something. But the whole gig about it, man, he did that joint standing up on 2 legs. So hey, there you go. Now what's up? That's Cook. What they talking about? Anybody come in the building, or they leave me with the mic? Oh, I see Welsh up here. And who's that? Oh, is that GB? Who's that? Breakdown, roll up.
What up, y'all?
Hey.
All right, GB. Yeah, y'all go ahead, cook up. Welcome. How y'all been, man? It's hump day. Let's get it in, man. I know I said a lot of shit. Y'all just pick apart what y'all want to pick apart or talk about what y'all want to talk about. It's the cookout. Let's get it. Salute to y'all, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all right, Pitwise. So yeah, so to continue that right quick. So again, you gonna get credit as if you buy $2 from Gardner, you do your breeding, yeah, and you make a champion or two, show win or whatever. Yeah, they gonna say, yeah, that came from Pitwise. He put those $2 together. But you got to remember, Pitwise, Gardner could have put that breeding together too. It's his blood. So unless you are going to do something else with the blood, it's always going to be his because you didn't change it. If you breeding it the same way, like majority of these people are doing, breeding it the same way he's doing, you're not really change. You don't outstand nowhere because they still going up to him rather than go to the other person that's doing the same exact breeding. So until you change it up, or you inbreed on that 3-4 generations, something that he's not doing with certain dogs, then yes, that's yours pit wise. But to say that you could buy 2 dogs from a breeder, do a breeding with it, you get something successful, all the credit goes to you. That's impossible. That man got 10, 12 generations behind the dogs that you put together.
Also,
You know,
pit wise, that wasn't a wall climb on that 30-foot pit wise. That was dock jump, I think. A dock jump, bro.
Oh, so probably like a lab or something like that, or a chassis.
You might want, you could check it up. I don't think it was a lab. One of them might have been a doodle or something. I don't know, but it wasn't no greyhound or not. But like, I think one of our pits can take that, because we got some young guys out here that's trying to get it. I don't know, but the record's there though. The record's there to be took.
Now, hey, well, so hold on, you guys, excuse me, I'm kind of jacked up still, but like, I see your point, right? But I just think that when we talk about breeding, a lot of times we think of just like hard numbers of like ones and zeros all the time. When there's a lot of factors, when you even put the 2 dogs together that we don't take in consideration, you know? Like think of all the times 2 dogs got put together and one litter came out amazing and the others came out trash. There's too many of them. There's the age of the animals themselves. There's a bunch of behavior and epigenetics that we got to take into account for. So, you know, sometimes you might have a great litter of 2 great producing dogs and they may all go into terrible hands. You know what I'm saying? So, and then conversely, you know, the next time they might go into the right people's hands and the right decisions are being made with the dog as far as behavior, nutrition, starting them at the right time and making those incredible decisions for those animals. So that's why I just think that I just think that the breeder just gets way too much credit, man. Yeah, thank you for putting it together, but you know what I mean, and you should be recognized as such. But I think once they leave your hands, man, there's just too much other factors that the breeder can't control that happens. So that was just my point.
Okay, no, I understand that, but Hemi James, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Hemi. See, if you look at any of my dog's pigs, it cannot be duplicated at all.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be duplicated. None of my pigs can be duplicated. So what I'm saying is, Gardner has all of these successful dogs. It's not like he just putting any dogs together. So when we talk about the credit part, yes, you could buy 2 dogs from him and you probably get 2 champions out the litter, but that's something his family of dogs have been doing. If you did that with another Joe Blow dogs down the street, that's a different story, because Joe Blow ain't got no history of doing that. Joe Blow don't have his hundreds of winners. So that's the point. His blood was already doing that. Yeah, you put the dogs together on your yard, but it's still 12 generations of his dogs behind it, and his family of dogs been producing these winners. The same way you just put it together, because more than likely he can do that same breeding from the 2 pups that you picked. So that's what I'm saying. So if you buy 2 Gardner dogs and say you do a breeding with Samurai, and then I say, damn, I like that shit, let me put such and such on it. That's completely different. The breeders can't imitate that. They can't go back and do that breeding. You have to switch it up. The only way you can claim it's yours, the breeder cannot be able to copy it, or somebody else cannot be able to copy it. Think about how many people out here. There's thousands of people in the pit bull community that literally have the same dogs. It's the small percentage of us who don't have the same dogs as everybody else. So again, you gotta switch it up. You can't take a New Orleans recipe and go to Texas and talk about you gotta switch it up. You gotta throw some of that Texas shit in there. If you out here trying to make a recipe but you don't know how to do it from scratch, you get something from somebody in New Orleans, then you go to Texas, get you something, then you go to North Carolina and get you a few recipes. You put all that shit together and make your own shit. They can't go back and duplicate that. You gotta change it up. You have to, because you don't have a family of dogs from it. So how can it automatically be yours? We call it that conquering mentality. You can't just
Hello? Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so Now, I understand your point completely, right? But think about this. How many times that you went through a cookbook and followed a recipe and it didn't come out the same way every time? You
Well,
feel
well,
what I'm
well, well,
saying
well,
though?
well. That,
Sometimes that
that
sometimes
Pit wise, that's
sometimes
why I'm
that
saying do
recipe
your
don't
own
work out
thing.
the way that you planned it. You know what I mean? But no, seriously though, man, like it's a super valid point, and it's gonna be one of those things that I'm like super steadfast on, and you got some really really good points, but I just think that the breeders get way too much credit for these accomplished dogs than they
Well,
should.
Pit wise, that's
I
like me
think that
getting $2 from you, and
yeah.
then I put something together and get some champions, but you already been producing champions for 45 years, and I'm out here talking about these my dogs, my champions. You gonna be like, well, hold on. First of all, my dog's been doing that. Then it's hundreds of other people that's gonna be like, well, them family of dogs, they've been doing that. He just put two
Yeah,
of the
I
dogs
get,
together.
dude, but I honestly do. I've been around for 25. I've never felt like that before. That's just me. Honestly, I think it's just me then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really think that's just me because like fucking, it's hard to put some accomplishments on these dogs, bro. Like it's easy as hell to have a female in heat and take the male and go here, go ahead and hump her and go put some puppies out.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
That's
hard.
true.
It is difficult as hell, man. Like fucking like Hanzo's Rita, the guy that produced him. I know him my whole adult life from the Marine Corps and stuff too. And you know what I mean. He gets his credit as the breeder and thank you for putting together. But he ain't been one footstep out here on these damn keeps with this dog, man. Not one. And he ain't been to one vet visit. He ain't been to one snake bite convention. He ain't put one piece of worm in here after 5 months old. It's just like,
No, no, and I completely agree with that. That's why I say
yeah.
it's when people push a lot on the breeder, but when it comes to the circumstances,
Hmm.
is 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 two pups you get from a
Right.
well-known breeder. Is two pups you get from a well-known breeder that has
Hmm.
hundreds of winners
Right.
versus you getting two pups from Joe Blow that don't have no history. That's what it boils down
Right.
to, and then it boils down to the dog man. That's why I always say let's give the dog the credit first before we even talk about the human, because the dog did the work at the end of the day.
Right. And maybe it's
So
because too, I never consider myself a breeder. I think maybe that's where it comes from too. You know what I mean? Because like I just took like there was stuff that I liked out there, and I saw breeders that got put together, and I said to myself, "Hey man, I can make something from this." You know, I never ever really considered myself a true breeder. And like, are there dogs and pedigrees where you know what I mean? My dogs show up in champions and grand champions. Sure, there are, but like consistently behind my name, where I put both parents together, multiple generations, it's not. So maybe because I don't have that mindset, maybe probably that's why I feel that way. But in this half of my life, you know what I mean, where I'm probably gonna do shut up, Oren. Where it's gonna be like, more breeders I do and I'm gonna be a little bit more active. Maybe I feel that way. I feel differently 10, 15 years from now. So who knows? But like
Hey,
just as of
hey, Pitwise.
yeah,
Um, I agree 100% what you're saying, but sometimes, and that's my kind of position too. You know what I'm saying? I don't just breed dogs and put them on the ground for monetary value, or just to
mhm,
breed them just to say I got pups on the ground or I'm a breeder. But yet and still, once you stick them two dogs together, you're a breeder. Whether you want to, we are breeders. The whether we want to take that title or not, because you
right,
just bred dogs. You know what I'm saying?
right. Well,
And
I just mean like in the long term sense, as far as like generational, like having the same consistent family of dogs that I've owned. That's just what I meant by that. You know what I mean?
right,
So
right, right,
yeah.
right. And I'm gonna say this too. You know, so I sit back and listen a little bit because I was a little late. But I think this conversation, well, this topic been touched on a little bit. You know what I'm saying, here and there. But when it comes to bloodlines and handlers or breeders or whatever, like Wills work on cars or whatever. You know what I'm saying. Just say if I got a bag, I'm trying to drop this vert, right? You know what I'm saying. And I done spent 500 grand on this vert. But the shop, Wilt shop, he built the motor, he built the transmission, he built everything, right? So now when I take this car out on show day, I'm going to win all these trophies. I can say, yeah, I dropped the bag. Yeah, I'm the one that paying for to get it hauled here. Am I wrong for leaving? I think a little bit. If I don't say, when somebody say, "Well, what's the process of woo the woo woo the woo," and I never mention nothing about Welch or say that they shopped the one, built it, this everything, me. I think it's something a little wrong with that. I think it's you know, sometimes the handler wants all the credit, but you can't give them all the credit because what they handling is a product of somebody else's work too. Also, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's a sticky subject.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
saying
See,
nobody.
I think the car analogy though, man, is really apples and oranges because it's either like you put it together and it's there, like you know what I mean, like because when you send me a puppy, you got a lot of growing to do and a lot of other stuff to get to that finished product. Where when you build a car, you know what I mean, what's there is going to be there. You feel me?
Okay.
So I think,
Look at it this way. Look at it this way. See, in Game Breaker, that's why I always tell you, wordplay is a very dangerous thing. Pitwise, listen. We can talk about this and say it 10 different ways to where Pitwise will disagree more, and 10 ways where he will agree more.
Right.
Wordplay is a dangerous thing. Pitwise, look at it this way. Let's take the whole puppy analogy out of it.
Okay.
I'm selling nothing but 15 months and older. That whole situation about it, where the credit goes, that go out the now that other what we were just saying, that go out the window, because now ain't no, well, I've been raising it since it was this. I was worming it, I was feeding it for this long. You just bought a grown dog ready to go. Now, who most of the credit go to? Especially if the man got 12 generations behind
at that point, I see where the scales would get tipped more. I will concede to that.
I mean, you go listen. Just hear me out. You gonna get credit as the handler, but you bought that dog at 15 months. He was already ready to go. You see what I'm saying? So we gotta get the puppy aspect out. We gotta get this person. We just, as I said years ago on somebody's thing, we gotta start from the ground up. Let's not forget the dog is the one who did the work.
Right.
But when you did that, you moved the whole fucking field goal post out the fucking arena.
I know.
So because when you did that, you moved the field goal post to fit your narrative. Now, because you took away the man's whole work. You know, his whole argument was like, nigga, I got to jump from 6 weeks. But I made this joke. I made some accolades off this joker. You got 10 other guys that got brothers and sisters to my dog that they do shit. So I got some influence on this dog. Now, if I decide to go into your lane and become a breeder, them things I do off that dog, I got accolades, them little mixes I do. They, even though you saying you could do the same thing, which means if I got a guard a dog and I made something out of it, bloom, but then I don't go back to garden. I go to some boil shit. You know what I mean? Like, God got the litter mate to my joint, and he could go to some better bullshit. Say that. But the plates ain't the same, bro. The plates ain't the same. They still got some work to do. See, what y'all not giving credit to is you got somebody. I'm saying this how I'm looking at what y'all saying. Y'all making like somebody getting a dog from a breeder and then they going immediately into breeding. That's where I can agree with you saying, Welsh. If I get a dog from a breeder and I don't do nothing with it and I just start breeding dogs, then I can't really, unless I come up with a super dog, I really can't say I'm doing nothing different. I'm just in that man's lane. I have to do something with the dog. That's the whole key. For me to claim anything, I have to do something with that dog.
Thank you. But hold on. Toyo, hold on. J-Bo, Dogman T, listen. It's not about if he bred Frisco or created Frisco or not. We can read pedigrees. We know how Frisco was bred. He made Frisco worldwide. See, that's what we gotta realize. We know how Frisco was bred. Only the people who can't read pedigrees is the ones that's talking about that. The people that can read pedigrees, we know how Frisco bred. But we know if Frisco never stepped on that yard, we wouldn't be talking about Frisco right now. If Frisco never stepped on that yard,
let me salute Dogman too. So where is that? Let me throw this out there too for you, Welsh, to cook on. So nonstop, nonstop. And this folks, they actually bred. I think they produced Hickson. All right, now,
Yeah, I know about that story. I know all about that.
all right. So where that's what he said. That's what he's kind of saying about that. Like if they actually produced that dog, then Garner's doing the shit that you saying that it's not true. It's not true. Garner claiming the Hickson shit, and he didn't even breed Frisco. So is that the people who really created Frisco's work, and he just took it?
But listen to what you just said. Now, for all the people who listening that didn't know, because I already knew this information. I made this statement about 2 months ago when we were talking about stuff. For the people who didn't know that, they're the ones who need to write this down so they can know this information.
Yes, sir.
So the people that already know about it, we don't need to talk about it. We already know what the deal is. The people who don't know, that's listening to this, that just found this out, they're the ones that need to have that conversation amongst each other.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got you. No, y'all cooking though. Y'all cooking.
Hey, so with the Hickson dog, what's the description? They saying that the people who actually owned and campaigned the Hickson dog don't get any credit for it. That's the discrepancy.
I don't really know the ins and outs, but nonstop be kind of that's a touchy subject with him. He keep bringing that shit up, nigga. The link is in the chat unless you working.
Nonstop. Welsh know the story, big dog. I've been in the game a long time, big fella. I know the story. I'm talking about these other folks that don't.
No. I ain't saying you don't know the story. Well, I'm trying to say the man who actually did the work is in the chat. So if he want to come up and talk about it, I'm just trying to let him know the door's open. But or he can say, "Go ahead, Welsh, tell the story." I don't know. Salute.
I ain't telling his dog story. I tell my own damn story. He can tell the dog story. I get credit where it's due. I'm just saying, as far as this ain't got nothing to do with God, I'm just saying in general. Like,
yeah. It ain't got nothing to do with God. We just use him as the example because he up at the top of the food chart.
It's two subjects on that credit because certain, like Pitwise was saying, well, if I've been feeding it since 6 weeks, I weren't. Okay, let's take that out of the equation. You bought the dog at 15 months, 24 months. Now,
when you do that, that's a whole totally different story. You buying a finished product. I agree with you on that. Pitwise agree with you on that too. But basically, that's a whole totally different jump.
You did, as far as, but again, fellas, too many people got similar dogs. And my argument, even in my private groups, all these families of dogs, who got the best ones? And that's the problem. Too many people looking in the next backyard trying to match their breeders. Do something different with your shit. Do something different with it. Y'all not tired of looking at the same damn pedigrees that people repeating? Like, do something different. Spice it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Spice it up. What if they you tell them spice it up, they might, go to a whole nother arena. Don't spice it up too much. At the end of the day,
people gonna follow them trends of what's working at the time, though.
Man,
Back in the day, I never hear, but hey, blah 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 did such and such. They're like, oh, for real? How is he bred? Oh, it was this on top, this on the bottom. Then that next year, all you see on Pets Online, putting this together, fireworks. Putting that pure Patrick Homer on top with the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pitwise. Like I always come back to say, most of these guys, if you really listen to them, they tell on themselves. And what I say is, if the dog men of yesterday had the mindset of these dog men today, we wouldn't have none of these bloodlines. We wouldn't have a Chinaman. We wouldn't have a Hicks and shit. We wouldn't have a Boomerang. We wouldn't have the Zebos. We wouldn't have none of that shit. So then what would y'all be breeding bullies out here 24/7?
Hey, but listen, check this out.
Follow me on this. Didn't have his mindset. Y'all copying each other breedings. All the old dog men wanted to stand out on their own.
And hide the too. Motherfuckers will tell you how they wife us before they tell you how their dog is bred.
Exactly.
Well, check this out. How you feel on this then? Welsh and everybody else. All right, I look at it as, okay, we all got It was a deck of cards created, bro. Like they was already they was using whatever they was using with them dogs, like to put into these dogs or whatever. And the variables is some people still go out and get staffs and put it in there, and the Dobermans or whatever the fuck they mixing in there. We're accounting for all that. We just saying, okay, now we got a standard of dog at a certain point of time, which means we ain't going out to no other breed mixing nothing in. So when we not doing that, if we not going out to another breed mixing nothing in, my argument is we playing with the same deck of cards, 50 whatever's in that card as far as the genetics. Now, the dealer dealing out hands to everybody, right? You know what I mean? When you're breeding and all that, that's like the dealer dealing out hands to everybody. So do y'all really think that it's a new hand out this motherfucker, out of them? That hand you got, somebody had the same hand before. You understand? So I say the dogs ain't changing. It's the same dogs. Where's those? Zebo just in somebody's yard right now that we probably won't know Zebo over there. Jeep in somebody's yard right now that we probably just don't know Jeep over there. You dig what I'm saying? It's the so many things got to line up for you to see for these dogs to get a name or whatever, to get that name. But the dogs are still out here. If you look around and look at these dogs' faces, you're gonna find a twin. You'll find a twin if you go back years. You ain't made nothing that look different than nothing else or whatever. And if you did, like a pointy face one or something that's good, I'm sure they had. You'll find a twin. You'll find a twin. The performance comes in different packages. Like, the man might, with the handful of clubs, might be popping right now. You dig what I'm saying? It's just different variables or whatever, but that deck stay the same, and every variable I think has been already out here. I don't think it's no other new variables unless you bring another breed into it. It ain't nothing that you ain't gonna do is new. I hear you well saying that can't nobody repeat your breeding and all that, and I'm sure you know what you're talking about. But like what I'm trying to say, like I heard a famous saying the other day. I mean, a good ass saying the other day. You only call it original when you forgot the source or you don't remember what the source is, basically. What's really original out here? Either you don't know that somebody already had that, or you don't know where the source said or whatever. You call it original because you don't know no better. You know what I mean? So, but that's where I'm at with it. Now, wrong or right, that's where Toyo at with it.
Well, that's where. Well, see, that's where word of mouth and opinion separates from DNA when it comes to the dogs. When we talk about what's new or what's original or what's this and this.
Pew. Shots fired. I hear you, bro.
Now you talking about genetics at that point. So yeah, I might have a 60% honey bunch dog that I might have honey bunch in 7 dogs that's 12 years old, and she might be in all of the 3rd and 4th generation twice. Ain't too many people got shit like that. That's honestly what it is, instead of being paper hung. Because it's again, that's where DNA comes into place. You got people who could say this and this, but they can't actually show you the hard facts with the percentage. So that's where we at in the game dog world right now. It's word of mouth and opinions, and then it's the people who gonna pull out them papers and show you what's inside the dog blood.
Right. Yeah, and it's just too many other factors and what if. I know if was a fifth, we all be drunk and shit.
Yeah,
But my old partner he always used to ask all the time. He say, "Hey, Hood, man, why do you think there has to be like another Jeep like the way he was?" I was like, "Cause he probably died of parvo on somebody's yard."
Exactly.
And we never gonna know.
Exactly. I believe the same type stuff. I believe that too.
He got run over by a car somewhere.
Hey,
Animal control got him. Somebody dirty ass killer got run up on, and he gone. And that's why, you know what I mean? So a lot of times they just didn't work out. It was just little factors like that, man, that we'll never know.
but this is the thing though. A lot of people don't know. Well, livestock folks know, but a lot of people in the pit bull world don't know that most of the genetic testing with the animals was the reason, preserving the families was the reason why DNA profiling got so big with horses, with dogs, with a lot of shit, bro. Is especially with greyhounds. It's an old certain type bloodline of greyhound that a lot of people still chase, and it's very expensive, and they try to only get the dogs with a certain percentage of that them greyhounds that's in it. So even with the pit bulls, you have people who actually got some real good honey bunch stuff that's heavy honey bunch from a male that's on ice that you never heard of, that he's sitting on from back in the day.
You
Then you
know,
got the people who telling you that they stuff is 37, 45, 50% honey bunch, and you just have to take the word because they don't have a family of dogs outside in the yard to show you.
yeah, and that's and dude, I don't know if you guys ready to segue yet, but I think that's a nice little topic we can segue off of, as far as like like frozen semen and DNA profiling, because in the farm world they have a term for frozen bull semen,
Yes, sir.
so that they call genetic obsolescence. You know, have we discussed that on the podcast yet? I mean, if I'm beating a dead horse, just let me know and we can move on to something
No,
else. But
explain that. I ain't never hear explain that.
so genetic obsolescence is meaning that okay, so DNA changes little, like in small portions over time,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Depending on the age of the dog, what the dog's going through, their health condition, and their weight, right? So so say for example, like me, when my son was conceived, I was active duty in the Marine Corps, the best shape of my life, like shredded to the fucking gills, as far as I ever been. My son is 23 years old. He can't gain weight if he fucking tried. Like he, like he can eat whatever he want. Hold up, I say this with all. Yeah, so my son, you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, bro.
So he can eat whatever he want, just mash out of anything and still be in shape. Now on my way out the military, when your boy started getting a little letting the stuff go, right? And that's when my other kid was conceived. And boy, this child smelled a cheeseburger. And like it's man, poor child.
Metabolism.
Yeah,
What you say
man.
about it?
True. And also too, like think about some of these repeat breedings. It's the reason why some of these breedings you hear about, the first breeding is usually the better one. I don't think, unless, correct me if I'm wrong, or look it up later, hit me back and let me know. There's never been a repeat breeding of some great dogs where the older litter was better.
Yeah, that's what I've always wondered too. Like, okay,
Yeah,
you made a jumping litter. Now, sometimes they blamed it on like, okay, they made that litter, then the parents passed away. But
right.
okay, but when they make that jumping litter, I be always wondering that too. Like, okay, well, if it was so jumping, why you ain't repeat it, and why the same thing ain't happened again and again and again? Like, that's kind of some evidence of something too,
Right, and
you
it's not
know?
like, and I'm not saying like the ones that like got all the way to like the, you know what I mean, whatever circuit that you're in, whatever that, and just came up short. I mean, like didn't make it out of school,
Yes,
like
sir.
that,
Yes, sir.
So and that's why whenever I do a frozen semen purchase for somebody, I ask them, okay, can you tell me how old was the dog when it got pulled? People forget about that. Frisco's best dogs wasn't when he was damn 9, 10 years old.
Well, I want to ask y'all though, because I never did nothing like that. What's the difference, or is it any difference between the AIs and the semen, the AI breedings and live breedings? Is there any difference in the product on the ground? Have y'all noticed any
So
differences?
So the only difference is when you do if you do a direct collection, there's no drop in the semen count in most cases. So say like Wahanzo, right? I won't let he won't do a natural breeding unless the female has a negative brucellosis test inside of 90 days. Just won't do it. Because that's your product there. If he gets brucellosis, he's sterile, he's no good to you as a breeder. You know what I mean? So I tell people, hey, go pay the little 60, $70, and if you can't do it, fine. When we get there, I'll put her right in front of you. He'll think that he hitting it. We'll collect from him, and then I'll use my kit and insert it in you. So that way, it's almost no drop off in sperm. But when you do a frozen, no, okay, when you do a chilled, you're probably gonna lose like maybe 5 to 10% of that during like that little 24-hour, 3-day like period of shipping.
Yes,
Whereas when
sir.
you do it completely frozen in nitrogen, sometimes you might go to like a 99% motility rate, and depending on how it was pulled, that very next time it gets frozen, you might get down to like 59, 60%. So that
Salute
that
that.
just means that when you go So when you do a direct collection, you do that. You can do that one time if you're doing your numbers right. But when you do a completely frozen, you might have to try to get all 3 straws done and do it that way to maximize the likelihood of a breeding happening.
I think we be making it nothing to
Extra
do with
difficult.
what you and Welsh saying, but because y'all really digging into the science of it. You know, I'm not well versed in it like that, but I got experience with the dog, so I'm looking at it whereas though to me, since I've been in it and up to now, terms change and things like that, and processes become defined that we didn't even know the names for what we was doing. So somebody start defining them and stuff like that. So, but are the numbers really getting skewed, or is still about the same ratio of good dogs and trash coming out, no matter how you're breeding? So if that's going on, if nobody's really skewing the numbers with they formula that they working with, if they not like Pitwise just said, is you repeating, is the stuff coming out consistency like that? Like where's we at with it? So it seems like the numbers are still the same. It's not getting skewed anyway. You understand? It's good dogs out there everywhere, no matter how people are breeding. That's just my opinion. Y'all can talk to me.
I mean, I feel as a whole, I would say better. I'm gonna say this is why I'm gonna say better, because even though some of it still goes on today, but it can't go on like it used to. So back in the day, before a lot of laws changed, people used to have 100, 200, 300, 400 dogs on their property. A lot of those dogs never got the opportunity to show out. In today's world, it's not really like that no more. And you have, I'll say there is more. I'll say the breeding has went up maybe 10%, but as far as the quality of dogs, I would say it has went up. Because if you look at it from an overall standpoint, and the good thing about moving forward, you can always look back on things and calculate as you move forward. So as you move forward, if you do as an overall show and underground YouTube, historically speaking, if you do an overall count and look at everything, you can see that the dogs have elevated over the years. Overall, I'm not talking about in one field. I'm talking about as a breed overall.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think we just have a lot more information than we did now. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Most people in the chat and on this panel right now, when we do a breeding with a female, do we let her have the puppies on her chain spot in the dirt?
Hell no.
That's how Spike was born.
Yep.
Spike was a bunch of puppies. His whole litter was just a little pile of dirt during the flood, and it was almost, you know what I mean? They almost got flooded out till a guy came along and said, "Hey, let me get this puppy right here." Man,
life, man, that's life.
If we see somebody on Facebook post that, "Oh man, I got this litter up right now, ready to go," with she's on the chain spot in a mound of dirt, you gonna buy that puppy? Hell no. Because now that dog probably starting off with damn every disease known to man.
Now I'm not out there like that. Y'all be out there. Y'all actually be out there hitting these shows and doing different things to come up with this judgment y'all got. Me myself, on the flip side of it, if y'all saying the dog's getting better, I say that okay. Y'all saying these dogs are getting better. So y'all saying y'all can see more prospects out here that are looking like good dogs, but like if they're not competing against each other to knock each other off, you can't really, cause you understand where I'm at with it. Like, okay, right now y'all got a whole bunch of good ones that y'all probably saying is good prospects or whatever. But without that historical test, those good dogs y'all think is good dogs now, them numbers might simmer down once y'all really be able to test them things. But so I don't know. I don't know. So that's what the argument would be from the historical guys. It's like they're gonna be always saying there's no way y'all can say it's better dogs than them dogs that they had, because them dogs, when they did see a good dog or thought it was a good dog, they was taking it out there to really find out the truth. Now, in these days, it's safer for us because of the laws to be able to say, yeah, I got a yard full of the right shit, because who's going to prove you wrong? Who's going to prove you wrong? It's harder for somebody to prove you wrong now. So the old guys are always going to say we're hiding behind the safety of that. And we're able to yell that we have good dogs when they're drooling at the mouth to get in the time machine and bring us back there to put them joints to rest. That's just what I'm thinking.
Right. And from a qualitative standpoint, it's hard to prove. But from a number standpoint, we can all agree that there's way more American Pit Bull Terriers alive right now than there was in 1976.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's
Overseas,
a better way to say it.
Overseas,
That's a better way to say it.
Too. So I just think numbers wise, the probability of it is a lot
Yes,
higher.
sir. Yes, sir. I mean? Yes, sir.
I'll say this too. I agree. It's like from all the work of the OGs and all the old school dog men who put all the work down, who made all the accomplished dogs, all those accomplished dogs all over those years and doing those breedings. Like y'all saying, it's very highly likely that you can get a good bulldog just by how it's bred. You feel what I'm saying? How it's put together. But producing a good bred bulldog and making a accomplished bulldog is two different things. You know what I'm saying? I think people get that them lines get blurred sometimes. And
right.
Well, I'm gonna go back on what you said earlier, Pit Wise. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I like that little puppy you just got, man. I'm gonna be watching him. But as a handler, it's our job, or we want to make this dog accomplished, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we do that, what we crying for it about? You feel what I'm saying? It ain't no, you know what I'm saying? You act like, people not, we sometimes as handlers, we act like we want a participation award for doing what we're supposed to do, if that's what you want to do with your animal. You feel what I'm saying? And sometimes we want to take the work of the breeder. And sometimes the breeder want to take the work of the handler. It can't be that. You feel what I'm saying?
Dude, you think about it like this, bro. I agree. Dude, think of your favorite song ever, right? Hip hop, R&B, soul, whatever like that, right?
Right.
Put a different beat on it. So now you like, damn, was it the beat I was feeling or the lyrics or the combination of the two? Like, it really has to be a marriage of the two.
Hey, sometimes, but think about that. It done been done via remixes. Sometimes it's both. It's the lyrics combined with the song. Sometimes it's the lyrics. The lyrics are so profound that you can play these lyrics with anything and it stand out. You feel what I'm saying? Those you get that same feeling from the lyrics. You know what I'm saying?
And you can't forget the part that it's also that person that's spitting them that motion in it at that time, because like you could say the same lyrics, you could know Tupac's whole song back and forth, and they put you on the same beat, but we ain't feeling it like Pop was hitting.
So that's speaking to everything we saying. When it comes to a song, you got the artist, you got the manager, you got the producer who actually sit there, the engineer who put the song together. You got the producer who make the beat. You feel what I'm saying?
That's honestly, dude, the best way to wrap this topic up, man, is that it's just an amalgamation of things, and everybody should get credit for the success of it.
Yeah, I think that's the safest way to wrap it up too.
That's the best way. That's the best way to turn this around.
That's the safe way to leave that joker alone. Yeah, leave
that. Because you can't have one without the other. You know
right.
What I mean?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Changing my mind and shit. Fuck y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Salute the good dogs. Salute the good dogs of the past, and salute the good dogs of the present, and salute the good dogs of the future. It's all about the dogs.
Yeah, man. But I'm gonna get off here, man, and take this vitamin C, man, and get some rest and shit. But I had to jump on this topic though, man, because y'all be cooking, boy.
Hey, Pit, hold on before you go, man. I just can't. This the cookout, baby. We know you down, right now, but you just can't get out of here like that. This is TOYO cookout. You heard me? You already up here. You got to stay game now. You gotta
I
stay
ain't.
game, man. But
All
what
right,
I was finna ask,
it's
what
my
I was
turn. It's
finna.
my turn to scratch. All right, I got you.
No, you already scratched. You know, you already scratched. You just gotta stay in hold now, my boy. You feel what I'm saying? You already scratched. You know what I'm saying? What I was finna ask you is that pup, is that one of the ones that Tom was talking about?
Which one?
That little pup you got right now. You said it was
What?
gonna be your replacement. Is that one? I'm just asking if that's one of the pups that he made the video about when he said, "Don't say I didn't tell you." It just looked kind of similar. I heard him talking in the breeding that I looked at. It looked kind of similar.
What do you? I missed that video.
Oh well, then we ain't gonna worry about it then. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, look, fill me in, bro. Or just send me the
Nah,
link later and I'll look at it.
nah, bro. It ain't fulfilling in. The gap's gonna get filled in over time. You see what I'm saying? If you
Okay.
didn't, if it wasn't already in the air,
Oh,
if
nah,
it
nah. I
listen,
just.
listen. I've said it. I've said it better. If the question did get answered right now, it's gonna get answered over time anyway. So
Okay.
you feel what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
no point.
So this puppy here. I own the half sister to him from the same female.
Right.
She's off Domino bred to Ray Lewis, and she's a phenomenal dog. You know what I mean? So and I was like, well, he breeding her again, and now he doing the Kuma. So I was like, now I want to see the difference, but I want a male this time. You know. So yeah. So I think the secret in that breeding is gonna be Domino, man. She came off a dope litter herself, and I'm just excited to see what he does. You know, and I know all like the controversy with Akumas and all that stuff too, but I mean this dog gonna do what it do. We gonna figure it out. Either he is or he ain't. Ain't gonna be no gray area, you know.
If you don't mind, real fast, what if it ain't too deep or too controversial, what's the controversy about Akuma?
I can't talk about it on the live
Oh,
form. Yeah,
say
it's
let
one of the, it's one
say
of
let.
those.
That's why I said if it ain't too
Yeah,
controversial, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. You hear Big A voice, that means it's that time. That's that time. We can go ahead and make our
I've been
rounds and
looking at
shit.
the counter the whole time, my boy.
Hey, we took it up.
Yeah,
We did it good
man.
though. Salute to you, GB. You already roll. You already know, bro. Salute that. Salute that. Y'all make y'all rounds though. Pit wise, if you still ahead, you know. But
Yes,
if you
sir.
ain't, salute, bro. Make y'all rounds, please.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, we at the cookout with Big Toyo, you know what I'm saying? It's on the flow, you know what I'm saying? The biggest, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Big A, shout out Big Toyo, shout out Pitwise Kennels, man. Salute all y'all guys for the information, the knowledge, the camaraderie, you know what I'm saying? I enjoy it every day. It's something for me to look forward to. Salute.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Pit wise.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. What you got going on?
Nothing, man. Just raising up some puppies, man. I got the Tri-State New Jersey ADBA coming up next.
Okay.
So I'm bringing there's gonna be Oren Ishii's ADBA debut. So she'll
Nice.
still be in the 6 to 9 month group. So she took first place her last show. So yeah, just keep the momentum going, man. That's it.
Yeah.
And then
Boy,
we
we
just
putting
got the
in
date
that
for
work.
did I talk about the date for the South Bottom yet? That just got dropped recently. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, March 14th, the South Bottom show. We doing a whole family trip for that one. So I'm driving from NC to Louisiana. We're gonna bring the whole Sprinter van out there, and we're gonna have fun, man. So I'm excited about that.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Y'all know what it is, man. We got men at work coming up at 10 a.m. Central. But yeah, man. Toyo, anything
Yes,
you need to
sir.
say?
Y'all know it's your brother Big Toyo. Y'all know how I said. Y'all stay royal, and I'ma stay loyal to the next go. Salute.
Salute. We out.
Yeah. Beat drop slow, head not flow. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Second from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breathe for clout, we breathe for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Started with Boogeyman, Ghost in the chain. Locked in the game, never move for fame. Old mountain lions run deep in the flame. Socket about the fire, Michonne brought the name. Then came fat boy, muscle in the frame. Man, hard, put respect on the name. Shotgun smooth, but the work insane. Sugar sweet jit, but a bite ain't tame. Kiki in the back, had a game in the veins. Gatorade heavy, ran it straight through the rain. Red digit close, watch him work in the lane. Renegade rider can't hold that chain. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Socket from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breed for clout, we breed for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Ain't no luck, just grit and grind. Every dog here put work in time. Lady Rage got that fire in her eyes. Red alert taught us how to recognize signs. Blood heavy like a 2-ton chain. Everything proven, no need to explain. They asked what's in it, that yellow campaign. Built off real, we don't fake no strain. Second was the flame, Michonne lit the wick. If you know, then you know that line too slick. From the field to the show, every move so thick you can't blueprint this. It's the legacy pick. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Second from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breed for clout, we breed for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die.